Hey guys, this is the Nuts and Bolts giving you guys a review of the Badlands Sacrifice. As you can see, I have it loaded up here pretty much ready for the field, as in how I would go in the morning for a extended day hunt. So yeah, just trying to break this down for you guys out there, trying to show you why I feel better reviews are needed on some of these backpacks. You know, we all know the basic statistics on the weight being 3.9 pounds. It's kind of funny, on the website it actually says under Badlands that it's 3.9 pounds. They have 3.8. It varies from 3450 cubic inches, and they'll underneath that it'll say 38. But it's just a really great sized pack. And what I'm going to do here is kind of break down how I've used this pack and what I've found to be the things that I like about it that might help you guys determine that this will or won't be the pack for you. But basically you have to break it down into what's your intended use for this pack. There's a lot of great packs out there, and I'm going to kind of throw in some points that I've seen comparing this to the Everly Stock Dragonfly, the Black Widow, and then the Black's Creek Barbarian Featherlight. But basically I'm going to show you how I have this set up for a extended day hike, hunting with basically everything that I'm going to need, and sometimes more than what I need. As you'll see here, I have decided not to use this whole bottom compartment, and I'll go over that in a bit on why I kind of set this up this way. But it's just amazing on how well this pack, you know, really cinches down. And if you can see, I'll show you what I have in here, but the low profile of this and the ability of this pack to really get the weight up to your back has just been phenomenal. And you know, I'm going to tell you guys some things that I think can be improved on this pack, but for the most part this pack has really done what I've asked it to do, and it's been great. So one thing, quality, I don't think I really need to go over quality. It's fantastic. I don't know, I did get rained on for 2 days with this pack, and everything in it stayed dry. I did not put a rain cover over it. I'm not saying that, you know, I think I'm going to Scotch guard it. A rain fly, if you're going to let it, you know, a cover if you're going to sit outside under in a vestibule under your tent. Outside your tent would probably be, well, a good thing to do. But anyhow, with that said, I'm going to show you guys how I've used this pack. Spotting scope fits fantastic in this outside pocket. Real easy to access to while you're out there. Throw the pack down, pull it out. You'll see that I have my tripod on this side. Fits in there real nice. And one of the things I'm going to stress on this pack is how the cinch straps on this thing really do a good job of keeping this thing isolated, keep it from moving around on your back, and keep the weight close to your back is what this thing really excels at. So with that said, I'm going to bust this apart. You know, when I say that this pack is an excellent day pack, all what you want to do in the weather you're going to be in, but you'll notice that, you know, I'll pull out gear that I will put on my waist or around my neck, but, you know, while this is in my truck or, you know, sitting around, it can contain everything I want it to. But the big thing I've noticed for cold weather, anything, you put anything in here insulating, it takes up so much volume. And that's why I think having an oversized day pack can really be great. You know, if you're going to be out there, you pretty much have to take rain gear, because you never know what it's going to throw at you. I always carry a 3-liter Camelback, but I just represented this with a couple quarts of water. You know, gloves, hats, game bags. You'll notice I vacuum seal my game bags just to kind of keep everything as compact as I can. Rain pants, first aid kit, anything else I would want, and saw. Okay, that's pretty much it. Sun hat. So this pack's pretty much empty right now, and what I'm going to do is cinch this thing up and really just show you guys how well this thing excels at a day pack. You'll notice I said that bottom compartment puts a down sleeping bag. I got a 0 degree sleeping bag. It holds in there very well. I will show you guys, I have added a compression strap on the bottom. As far as, you know, I'm not going to hit this thing too hard up because it's done really well, but I would like to see an integrated compression strap on the bottom for when I'm hiking with this thing empty. One thing over, say, the Dragonfly that I really like this pack is this top pack. I couldn't tell you how many times I have, you know, just really appreciated being able to bust open a zipper, pull out snacks, knives. I mean, I got a whole bunch of stuff in here. I'm not going to pull it all out. But, you know, everything just makes everything extremely accessible. Works really well. But you'll see that I have this cinched down pretty much as tight as it goes with absolutely nothing in this pack. And this top compartment, you know, it does not cinch down amazingly, but, you know, I can live with that. There's nothing in this pack. I pulled this up, and, I mean, it's phenomenal for a 3,800 cubic inch pack. I mean, it's as good as a school bag as far as reducing volume. Fantastic. So basically, I think the guy who would really appreciate this is, you know, you're going to use it for a really good day hunt, which you can kind of see everything I have in here, which I could fit more. Like I said, I didn't even use this bottom compartment. 2-3 day spike camp. You can fit, you know, tent in the bottom. You can strap it on the bottom or up underneath here. A lot of things you can do, but the thing with that is you're not going to be able to get meat out with this pack if you're going to have a tent, a sleeping bag, and everything else. It's just not going to fit. Some guy out there might say, yeah, I can strap it on here, I can strap it on there. I will say that I've used this on an elk hunt to retrieve a quarter, boned it out, and what I did was really eliminated my day gear because I knew it was going to be an out and back kind of trip just to get the meat. We were still hunting while we were doing this, threw everything into the bottom compartment, which works fantastic. Separates it from anything on the top. You know, I throw in some garbage bags. I try to keep any meat inside the pack, because, you know, to keep the pack from getting too hogged up. So I throw my day stuff in this bottom, and then I put a boned out elk quarter, rear quarter. So let's just, you know, I'm guessing here, but let's call that, say, 55 pounds. Had 15 pounds of gear, so it's at 70. Call the pack 5 pounds, 75, you know, up to 75 to 80 pounds with an elk quarter boned out inside this upper compartment. All my stuff on the bottom, and you know, I'll tell you what, it was the maximum, you know, intended use of this pack. But it was a really nasty traverse downhill. All I could do to stand up, and the fantastic thing is it just kept that weight so close to my body that, you know, I had other buddies that pretty much peeled off the hill with those expandable packs that go outward. I mean, you know, that's great if you're walking down a game road, you know, or a fire road. But if you're out there in the real world, having that weight off your back extended is just not cool. And that's why this thing is just fantastic. Like I said, I compared this to the Dragonfly by Eberlestock. Fantastic pack. But for what I wanted out of a pack, you know, as I'll show you right here, the Eberlestock has 2 big pockets down the front on that Dragonfly, and then a small compartment inside, or the big compartment, which is compressed when you're not opening it up for meat. And as in with anything, it's just such an issue with everything in the pack sinking to the bottom. And that's, you know, I'm not going to ding these guys too hard from Badlands, because they all do it. But, you know, I would love to be able to see attaching some heavier gear, walkie-talkies, GPSs, whatever, up high, because everything just sinks to the bottom. You'll notice what I did with this side pocket here, which is a pretty cool thing. Not a lot of room. It gets compressed very well, but, you know, a pair of socks. And I've actually put some Velcro, sewed it in here, hold up some string, some paracord. You know, a lot of things that could be done to keep weight higher, which is what I want a pack to do, because all the heavy stuff goes to the bottom, and that's not where you want it. Yeah, you can smart pack, but when you're pulling stuff in and out all day long, you know, it just gets pretty tough. But all in all, This pack is great. I did compare it to the, who was that? The Black Creek Barbarian Featherlight, and I think that's coming in at 4,400 cubic inch. And with the ease of putting gear into this pack, putting stuff on top, those detachable pockets on that Featherlight were just cumbersome to get gear into. And I found this pack to pack easier, and you know, as odd as it sounds, everything that I needed to get into my pack fit into this pack easier than it did that larger Barbarian Featherlight. You know, it was a great pack, but that's what made me decide to go with this Badlands Sacrifice. And so kind of my last point I'm going to go over is value. For the price they charge for this thing, what you get, I mean, there's not a lot here. So from that point, you know, it really could be less expensive. But when you bust it down to what it does, it was worth every penny I spent on it. So, you know, that's kind of a decision you're going to have to make on how much you want to spend on a pack and what it's going to do for you. But from that standpoint of what it does, great value. One thing I want to criticize these guys for is these pockets on the hip belt. You know, great idea to have a pocket there, but they're pretty much useless besides a pack of bubble gum and maybe a power bar, which maybe that's what they wanted it to do. I'd love to be able to put a GPS in this, but you know, you put anything of volume in there, by the time it wraps around your pocket, it compresses that pocket so much it kind of renders it useless. I'd love to see some elastic in there that would allow it to stretch, but yet not let it be too cumbersome on the side of you. And then the other hit would be this waist belt. I have a 34-inch waist. That's, you know, my buddies are skinnier than me and they can't fit into this pack. It just does not cinch down tight enough. I called up Badlands and was kind of asking them, because I first had to return their 2200. Wouldn't fit me. And they said they had too many complaints about them being small. You know, you don't see a whole lot of big guys in the bottom of a canyon with a 40-inch waist. But I know they do it, but all my buddies are leaner than me and tougher, and it wouldn't even fit them. But like I said, with a 34-inch waist, it does, it works for me, but I'm at the marginal end of that spectrum there. But other than that, fantastic pack. I would buy it again, and I'm not even going to show you this thing's full, because you've seen the pictures, you've seen how well it expands, and it pretty much does it all. Not intended to haul a lot of meat a long distance, but if you get in the bind, you can throw it in there and get to your frame pack. So yeah, I'm going to say that Badlands really nailed it with this one, and for what I wanted it to do, it's a great pack.